welcome to India Post Live, India's first online news conversation portal. As you can see, it's all about football today in our brand new studio. Joining me in the studio today is Chaitanya. He's my partner in crime and football, and we're going to be talking about the 23-man squads selected for this year's 2014 World Cup. Now, they're not all confirmed just yet, so we're going to tell you whatever we know, as much as we can. We've got a detailed list of the whole lot. So I think we'll start. I think best is to go group to group. What do you say?
Sure.
So just jumping off with Group A, it's got the hosts in it, Brazil. Obviously, they're going to be the front runners. They're also with Cameroon, Croatia, and Mexico. Cameroon, who are we looking out for in those squads?
I think we're looking out for the usual suspects with Samuel Eto'o and Alex Song leading the line for the Cameroonians, and I think the best hope of attack will be the Chelsea striker. And his old man celebration will also the Cameroonian faithful should hope that they see a lot of that celebration, because that'll be the key for them to get out of the group stages.
Absolutely. On to Croatia has got a couple of key players, namely Luka Modric, Mandzukic, and Jelavic and Rakitic.
I think Rakitic and Modric, I think both have had very good seasons for their respective sides, being in the winning sides in the Europa League and the Champions League. Mandzukic has also had a very good campaign, so I'm very sure the Croatian team will be based around them three, making the most of what they have.
Absolutely. Mexico is the third country in that group. They're going to be, they're led by, Mexican and Spanish names, they're kind of hardcore, guys. Sorry about that. Rafa Marquez leads the Mexican contingent.
Yep.
Who else is there?
The Manchester United connection in Javier Hernandez.
They've left out the old Arsenal connection in Carlos Vela, sadly. I don't know why. Why?
Because I think Javier Hernandez, A, is the highest scorer for Mexico, and B, Carlos Vela could not beat him in a Mexico shirt, because Hernandez gets a different element. And with enough. Mexico not being that good in the middle of the park, I think Hernandez might just hold the key on scoring that important goal in that important time.
That is true. We'd love to talk more about that, but we have plenty to get through, guys. So let's move on then. Let's now move to Brazil, the big hitters in that group. We've got a little lineup of what we thought the team sheet should look like. There we have it. Chaitanya, talk me through that crazy team.
I think, you're right. It is a crazy team because the talent is overflowing in all departments. You can see you have Thiago Silva and David Luiz manning that four-man defense. With Dani Alves and Marcelo, they'll be running through the wing. They'll be running through their wing-backs. And sure, with Paulinho and Fernandinho giving them that solid foundation they need for their defense. And you have Neymar, Oscar, Hulk, Fred, Ramirez, Willian. It's just overwhelming, the talent they have.
Solid. And there's no shortage of support as well with Willian, Ramirez and all these guys that are there. I think they are pretty solid.
Very solid. I think they're my pick to win the cup. I think they'll make it 6 times.
Oh, fantastic.
Yes, I think the first.
That is bold. If Brazil wins in Brazil, that place is going to explode.
Yep.
So that's awesome. Right. Moving on to B for bomb.
B for bomb.
Group B it is. Starting with Australia. Their squad's going to be announced tomorrow officially. Any standout performers there to think of? I don't know what's happening post Mark Viduka, so we can just move past that.
I think Mark Schwarzer should be there in goal.
Schwarzer is not there, that's right.
That is very, very surprising, considering he's a keeper fit enough to be in the semi-finals of the Champions League for Chelsea between the sticks. I think he should be the first name on the sheet. Yeah. Along with Tim Cahill, he should be the first name on the Australian team sheet.
Can't disagree with you there, sir. On to Chile now.
Chile, I think.
Chile. Solid team.
Again, surprises.
No, they've got their Alexis Sanchez, and if you can pull off more of his wonder goals, I'm sure they'll be happy. But in their group, they also have the Netherlands and Spain, so that's going to be a bit dicey. Now let's take a look at the Netherlands, shall we? Let's bring up that graphic right now. And bada boom.
Again, overwhelming talent on the pitch.
I'm not a fan of Robin. I'm quite glad this is his last World Cup, to be honest.
Is it though?
Well,
you really don't know with him. He can dive. He can dive anytime. He can score anytime. He might.
I suppose he can fake being fit too. Then.
Sure. Okay. But I think the key here is again Schneider, Van Persie, and Robin clicking together, because they've been lethal they've scored the most goals in their qualification, so
Absolutely.
watch out for them.
They're missing Kevin Strootman.
Yep,
This time
very,
round,
very
who's
big
also
blow. We were
is
talking
key, and
about the fact that Louis Van Gaal had to rejig his entire team because
Yeah.
of him.
It's
So-
pretty much the 2010 veterans pretty much
Yeah.
are taking the thing, and it's a whole bunch of rookies from the Eredivisie as well, the Dutch league. Now, Spain. Let's move to the big boys. Spain. They're the other favorites in the tournament.
Yep.
Shall we bring that graphic up? There we are.
Again.
Yeah. As it's coming up, I'm just like wow. In the middle there, we've of course we've selected these ourselves. We had some disputes over whether we should play Xabi Alonso. We were thinking maybe he could hit that sort of central defensive thing, but do they play together? Do they not? Who do you pick from that midfield? How do you make the choices?
Everyone. I think we should have 15 people on the Spanish.
You think they should just play 4-6-0?
1. They should just have 8 midfielders manning Casillas, because I'm very sure every one of them on their day is just multi-talented, is just versatile, are just the best players on the planet. And when you have a bench like David De Gea in goal, Sergio Busquets,
Sergio Busquets over
Sergio
there.
Busquets as an
Sergio Busquets, rather.
Fabregas, Koke, again, standout Athletic Madrid performer.
It's good to see that Santi Cazorla is also up. I think Juan Mata is also in the squad. I don't think it's up on there. He's also been made to the
He's on the right side, isn't he?
Right side.
Again, you don't know who's there, who's not,
You can
right?
see I'm the Arsenal fan inside. He went to the side because there's an Arsenal player there. Ignored the entire team sheet altogether.
Confused if Mata wasn't there. Look at the names on that pitch. It's just...
Speaking of the names on the pitch, this guy, Diego Costa, might not be on the pitch. So what are they going to do there? Do you think they'll start Torres or Villa? I know we were discussing this. I said Torres, you say Villa.
I think La Roja will get that highest goal scorer on the pitch, even though he's been not played with his leg injury for Atletico Madrid. But I'm very sure he's lethal when he puts on the Spanish jersey on. He's a different animal.
But age not a factor anymore, do you think?
With them passing, you and me could play up top and we could score goals, to be
I don't
honest.
know about that, bro.
Hey.
Of course, Iniesta, always awesome. He's the only person in that squad which I would never remove.
Yep.
Like
no.
ever. I would
first name on the sheet.
Because
Casillas,
Xavi before we would have never replaced, but now Koke, he's going to be Xavi's resurrection. I had to say it. Had to do it. Even in the back, actually, can we go back to the Netherlands graphic? Because they're another team that they're always great on paper. This one, we're missing a bit. Only from the people who really stand out here are Schneider, Van Persie, Robin. After this next World Cup, is this going to be a similar team? We're going to see a lot of changes. Robin's going to be gone. Van Persie's going to be gone. Schneider is going to be gone. Vlaar, I don't think he's going to last out.
I think they have a lot of... I think with Ajax and Feyenoord, they have a lot of young players raring to have a crack at the first team. And with someone like Louis Van Gaal, who's brought a very good system to the national setup, and he's not going to be there
I
for
should
them.
just warn the audience watching, this is a United fan in disguise. He's got a normal shirt on, right? So he's very happy about the manager over here.
I'm going to rip into my jersey anyway.
You and Ryan Giggs. Right. Let's just move on then to Group C. Group C is also an interesting group. We've got Colombia, Greece, Japan, and the Ivory Coast. Yep. They're obviously, the Ivory Coast are the standout performers, but let's start with the other teams. Colombia, a team not to be underrated because they have, of course, got Radamel Falcao.
Who is out of the World Cup.
That is true.
Who is
So
not
what
been
are they going
named
to do?
in the 23
I was
man
leading
squad.
you into that question because I want to ask, what are they going to do now?
Need to find a prolific striker who scores 30-odd goals every season in what? 10 days now? I think they need to be on their job, right?
Interesting. Right. Well, Monaco's got money. Maybe they can find someone to do something and send him over. I don't know. They'll figure it out.
But I think Colombia generally is a very young team. Very young team with a lot of pacey players. So don't count them out. Yes, they don't have a world-class outlet like Falcao, but this is the World Cup. If Greece can win a European championship, Colombia can do wonders too, can't they?
Exactly to that. And now to Greece, led by the veteran 132 capped Karagunis, who is beast. Is probably one of the only names I can pronounce in the team, actually. What was the one we were trying to do?
Socrates Papastoulos.
Papastoulos.
I learnt it.
Google it, guys. Google it. It's really difficult. We can't manage. We've got Mitroglou in Greece as well, who's also going to be a
Fulham
solid
striker.
he'll also should bolster some good stuff. Japan also, we were searching. They were saying not a team to be underestimated apparently, and they came out and they.
Isuke Honda says that Japan can win the World Cup. So
how about that?
That's a statement to make before.
Well, with that cannon on his leg, if it gets firing, who knows? They are also have got Honda's in there. They've got their veteran striker Yoshito Okubo. Also got the nod.
Yes, you're also missing Shinji Kagawa, who does wonders in a Japanese shirt.
This is why we have the United guy, because he has to just cover it all. But no, Shinji Kagawa is a great
good player for Japan.
And he's going to be, if he links up with some of these guys, then.
And as we've seen in qualifiers, everyone thought Japan would have a rough ride, but they actually made it very easily through.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
Even in the Confederations Cup leading up to the World Cup, because that was played in Brazil, Japan were very, very easy acclimatized to the conditions.
Well, that's it. The climate is going to be playing a big factor this World Cup with a lot of teams like England and all. I don't know what they're going to do whereas Honduras and Ecuador, they're going to melt when they get the afternoon games. The Ivory Coast now, let's have a look at, we've got a graphic for that because that's the other, wild card, not necessarily underdog, but wild card is more
there
appropriate.
and thereabouts.
There and thereabouts. Led by the ever-present Didier Drogba. Can never count him out. Yaya Toure, who's had just a whopper of a season. 21 goals?
21 goals in midfield.
21 goals in midfield.
Still one birthday cake short.
And that's what the third highest score in the Premier League, or second, or third rather. That's just nuts. You've got Gervinho, old Arsenal boy, who's actually doing better now.
Very good at
left.
Roma.
Yeah.
Very, very good at Roma.
Yeah. He's just been set loose, you know.
And I think they have a lot of muscle. This
speed also. Kalou is quick.
They're quick on the flanks. They're very, very strong in the middle with Tiote and Yaya Toure. Almost man mountains. You cannot get
Tiote's
past
got
them on that day.
Cannon of a boot on him as well. If anyone remembers that, I don't want to bring it up because I'm an Arsenal fan, but the Arsenal-Newcastle game where he blistered that
and
goal.
I think with Drogba leading the line for the last time, there's going to be a lot of romance in this.
There's a lot of Arsenal busters in here, actually.
Yes.
Sorry, I know it's the World Cup guys, but the fan inside. The back line, Kolo Touré has malaria, apparently. How is he going to...
Does that help him or not help him?
No, maybe he'll get deranged on the pitch.
And not score own goals?
We will see. But they're a solid team. I think you're right on that speed and power.
And they have a lot of players who can come up and do a lot of things. Max Gradel is very fast. Wilfried Bony has
we cannot ignore
proven
him.
his worth in the Premier League, but he's been valued 19 pounds by his club Swansea. So I'm very sure there's something we are not seeing.
19 million pounds.
19 million pounds.
19 pounds.
So I think there's a lot of firepower on the pitch and also on the bench. And with the World Cup being held in Brazil, the key is going to be how will everyone acclimatize to the temperatures.
Absolutely.
Something which Ivory Coast will be very, very good at.
Yeah. Matthias Bollio over there, I think, plays for Fortuna Düsseldorf. I know on FIFA.
Whoa.
Thank you. I was born in Düsseldorf. That's and actually, no, it's because I was playing a FIFA career with Fortuna Düsseldorf, and I saw because he's super quick, so look out for him.
That might help,
He could. Speed is always a key. Let's move on then to Group D, which has got Costa Rica in it. It's got England in it. It's got Uruguay in it. It's got England in there. I think Costa Rica are pretty much gonna
sit and watch all these games.
I don't think they're gonna be. They've got Joel Campbell, who's on loan from Arsenal. He scored against you guys.
Olympiacos.
He scored for against United, so that's cool. Brian Ruiz is
Let's
there.
not get clubs involved here, please.
I'm sorry, I can't help myself.
Yes.
It was a satisfying thing to see. Anyway, moving on, getting distracted. Carlos Hernandez is missing out from this one. Not a player that I know too much about, but the internet says he's going to be missed. He would have got a chance had he been in. So there, to England. We got England there. Let's bring that right up there.
The Three Lions.
The Three Lions. We've actually got the British flag up there. Happy days. Right. So, in goal, Joe Hart. No complaints there between Foster and Forrester. It's a tongue twister, actually. Just going to the subs bench. If he calls the wrong guy off, they both get up. Right.
I think they're on a first name basis there, let's be honest.
Yes. Ben, Fraser and Joe. How sweet. Onto the defenders. Are you happy with that back line we've selected
Extremely
there?
happy.
I would have... you don't want Phil Jones out there?
I think he's not yet ready for the World Cup. None of them are, to be honest,
No?
because Glenn Johnson's had a more than decent season with Liverpool, and I think Leighton Baines, as we all know, England are heavily packed on the left side with Baines,
Yeah.
Luke Shaw,
And
Ashley Cole not being told to
Ashley
come.
Shaw is not going to be there. John Terry is not there. Who else are we missing? Who else has got the boot? Rio Ferdinand
Rio
is not
Ferdinand
there.
isn't
Poor
here.
guy. But anyway, they've done their service. Luke Shaw there's a lot of talk going on about him as well.
But I think Leighton Baines is the right man to take England through at least this World Cup because he is the natural successor, Luke Shaw. So it's just a matter of him maturing up to the England role and probably earning his stripes. He might be used through.
Yeah, well,
Let's not
why
kid
not?
ourselves.
Why not?
with-
This is us
Yep.
who've chosen this team,
Yep.
by the way. Guys, by the way, you should tweet in and let us know what you think about the selections, our selections, the actual selections when they come out. Keep it coming, pre and post the shows. We're going to be talking a lot of football in the coming days. Our Twitter handle is @IndiaPostLive. Use the hashtag IndiaPostLive as well. Can we get that England graphic back up for a second there, please?
because there was Gerrard and
Because
Lallana
Gerrard
in
and
the middle.
Lallana,
Lallana
has also had a
Very
great
good
season. Everyone's been talking about him. Jordan Henderson was your gut pick actually. He's more like Gerrard's successor,
Yeah.
though.
like the young Gerrard. That's what England are banking on, the fact that Roy Hodgson's finally taken that risk, gone with the youth, has some old heads around to steady the ship with Rooney, Gerrard and Baines and Joe Hart even. Because I think there's going to be a lot of pace in this team, and it's just
do you notice who I snuck in there? Speaking of pace,
could actually be a very realistic pick with Alex
I think so. Can you imagine Sterling and Ox beasting down the side, Rooney holding the thing?
Not to
and
forget
Sturridge-
Leighton Baines also cutting down with
Yeah.
Sterling on the left. Again,
And
a
Johnson-
very pacey team.
Yeah.
Sturridge running, Rooney along with Gerrard is gonna pull the strings along the middle and the front of the pitch.
And then you've got the likes of Lampard as well, who bring years of experience and solidness to it. Jack Wilshere, if his injury's not holding him back. Danny Welbeck can run like an engine as well.
To be honest, I'd like to see Ross Barkley
Of
pull
course,
out a
Ross
wonder goal.
Barkley. We're banking on Barkley.
Barkley, we're banking
so
on Barkley, aren't we?
England is banking on Barkley because they've chosen him. He is really young and he's been selected ahead of other people.
A lot of other people.
Ross Barkley, I'm really looking forward to seeing what he achieves. It's a young team. It's a different team than that we're used to seeing from England. So let's see what they can manage.
I think with this 11 too, this 11 is yet to realize what they can do together. It's because they've only played in this team hasn't played a lot together.
Yeah.
So they're gonna, as soon as they get used to it, this could be a very potent challenge for England in World Cups, because as we also read, England are grossly overrated in European and international competition. So it's going to be a challenge for them as well as Roy Hodgson to see how far they go.
Well, they all know each other. They all play in the Premier League. So let's see. That could come together. Let's move on to Uruguay now. Because there's one guy from the Premier League who's from Uruguay who is awesome, possibly the best striker this year behind Ronaldo, arguably. It's up for discussion. Again, something you guys can send in your information and
and again, doubtful to be there.
Doubtful to be there.
Doubtful to be there because of his injury. They are all praying in Uruguay that he gets. I hope the prayers count and he gets fit, because Suarez in this form in a World Cup, it's going to be absolutely.
Even if he misses the whole thing, even if he's just there for the end, you would play him, wouldn't you?
But I think Aditya, to be important, to be very sure that they qualify, they need Suarez. This is not an easy group. You have the likes of England and Italy, so you really need Suarez.
The group of death indeed.
What they have got though working for them is an out of position Cavani who can always slot for Suarez and bang in goals.
Absolutely. Then who comes into Cavani's position with Cavani's down here? And
I think it's going to be Maxi Rodriguez, because they also have him with Gaston Ramirez, Rodriguez. You can have all these people along on that side, on the left, to kind of stabilize, because they're not midfield heavy, but I think Suarez and Cavani make up for, I think, along with Forlan's know-how of being in the World Cup since forever.
You know, it's an interesting thing. I've just been, while we were going through all these squads and stuff, you know, even up to the last World Cup, when you looked at the squads, there was always, even Uruguay or Argentina, you'd be like, okay, great, they're awesome in attack and defenses kind of thing. Now the level of football has come up all around that actually now looking at this, I'm like, okay, why not? Why not, right?
On their day, I think Forlan, Cavani and Suarez can outscore anyone. Can outscore any team.
Yeah. Forlan is he's killing it in China at the moment.
let's not forget he was the 2010 player of the cup,
That is very, very true.
and he knows what it needs at the international stage. Again, Uruguay being a South American country, very well accustomed to the temperatures there.
Yeah.
So that's
True
an
say.
advantage for them with respect to all the teams coming from Europe.
Yes,
So,
which leaves the last team from Europe, that is Italy. Let's get that in now. The beast Buffon in goal. There's no denying that.
I think he's a vampire.
I think he's awesome. He's
think
just,
he
he's
does-
just
he
nuts.
doesn't
Is
age.
it Casillas or Buffon for you, by the way? Just on a side note, yeah?
Buffon. Too solid. Casillas
solid.
makes that error
Once
every other while.
every while, yeah.
This guy's a wall. You cannot score past him. In actual time, in training, in FIFA, it's all proven. You cannot. You can
In
try.
FIFA, he's
You
insane.
cannot.
He's insane. I had a custom player. I put it up to 99. He still didn't save as much as Buffon. Chiellini has been in some disciplinary issues recently, but he's
Yep.
still been selected.
With disciplinary issues, I think De Rossi is also very high up the list with
I think
Prandelli.
Italy is very high up, but this is not the Italy of old, mind you. They are getting a little better, a little. When I say better, I mean nicer, and when I mean nicer, that means not kicking people really hard.
I think they're missing a Gattuso for kicking people.
They're
there,
missing
aren't
a
they?
Gattu-
Yeah.
Gattuso.
I think De Rossi is going to fill that void because I think Prandelli has been very strict on him, has banned him from games, from training because of his behavior. So I think we might see the best. His swan song might be his best for De Rossi, for the likes of Pirlo, for the likes of Buffon being his last World Cup,
Yes,
leading
it's
the
true.
team.
There's a lot of players here who won't be around next time. That's kind of sad. The likes of Pirlo. I really love watching him in an Italy
he's
shirt
gonna
because he
be sorely
really
missed.
gives it his all. And he'll be playing through bad boy Balotelli, who we think there'll be some drama this cup.
Oh yes, there is going to
For
be drama.
sure.
What I'm really sad about is Mattia Destro. I look at this team.
Yes, that's right.
And I don't see Mattia Destro, someone who's been influential in Roma's challenge for Serie A, was scoring goals when they needed them, however they needed them, braces, hat-tricks all the way.
Hell of a cool name.
That's if you're a striker, you should ask your family to give you a surname like Destro. You need to destroy, right?
Destro the Destroyer.
But I
Sounds
think
like something
again,
out of X-Men.
the story of this Italian team has to be Cassano. First in the last World Cup.
First in the last World Cup, that's right.
How do you make that cut? How do you make your first and the last World Cup at the same time? So I think that he might not use him up top because Immobile being the highest scorer in Serie A, along with Balotelli, are going to be very, very potent. And we've also taken a risk with Insigne coming in behind because he's also had a very good season for Napoli.
There's Verratti also that we haven't mentioned.
Very good season for
Verratti's
PSG.
solid player.
Very, very highly coveted.
Thiago Motta is also there. Aquilani, actually, they've also got a pretty... Everyone's got a good team, man. This is going to be a great World Cup.
Yep.
Actually, I don't know much about... I don't follow the Serie A that much, to be honest. Tell me a bit more about him.
Immobile is 24 years old. He is the highest scorer in Serie A, beating the likes of Destro, beating the likes of Balotelli, beating the likes of Fernando Llorente, Carlos Tevez. Surprisingly, Juventus won the Serie A and their strikers were not scoring as much as Immobile. And a quick reminder, a development that happened yesterday, which I was telling you about, is Ciro Immobile has gone to Borussia Dortmund on a 15.5 million transfer.
Oh, hey.
What with Lewandowski leaving for Bayern, they needed cover for their strike force, so now they have it. And a proven striker. Some say the Serie A is a slow league, makes it that much harder to score.
Still got to score
right?
goals, absolutely.
Makes it that much harder.
When there are people trying to break your legs instead of,
You need to know where your
score some
legs
goals.
are, right?
Absolutely. Right, on to Group E then. This has again got a mix two groups from the South Continent and two European teams as well. We've got Ecuador and Honduras, who will be, of course, acclimatized and used to it, and Switzerland and France, who are going to, as you said, melt. What to do? Ecuador have actually stolen this line from someone else. It's all about the Valencia boys.
It's all about the Valencia boys. One from NR and one from Manchester United.
With the name.
Again, they'll be missing Christian Benitez, who passed away last year, and it'll be a sad loss for the team because with their limited resources, Ecuador lost a very potent asset in Christian Benitez. So they'll have to probably do it for him in his memory. That might drive their spirit for the World Cup.
Right, and now Honduras as well. There's actually 6 British-based players in this squad.
Yes.
So Whether they've been training down there, getting the mix of both. Maybe they could be the perfect balance. Who
Again,
knows?
you cannot underestimate anyone in this.
Figueroa he plays for Hull. Can do something. It's an interesting because France are the go through. They're the given in that group. Let's say. Out of these three, Ecuador, Honduras, and Switzerland.
I think Switzerland.
Because
they have
underrated.
everyone.
Shaqiri's there.
Shaqiri's there. The Fry brothers are there. They've given a lot of European teams a lot of problems, especially again. I'm sorry to go back, but Manchester United, they scored twice against us in that
Yes, indeed.
3-3 draw in the Champions League. So they know exactly what they're about. They know their strengths. They know their weaknesses. They know they're a very limited team who need to do what they need to do. But again, Italy lost to Switzerland in the 2010 World Cup.
This is true. They were the ones who knocked out. They were also that was also a tough group back then.
So
this one not so hard. So France definitely on there. On to France then. Samir Nasri left out.
Again, Didier Deschamps, the very, very bold move from him, actually saying that he's not a good team player.
So this is all circulating this is all sort of follow on from the drama from the 2010 World Cup.
I hope it does not show any of its ugly face in this because this is a very good French team. Were down in the dumps when they were I forget the opposition, but they were defeated by in the playoffs in the first leg. Forgetting the name of the team, came back, bounced back, won 3-0. It's a very good team with talent and experience all across the pitch.
Actually, you're right. There's that good balance between the young and old. You've got Varane, Pogba, Griezmann as the kids, and they build a spine of kids down there. And then you've got the experience of Evra and Sanya on the sides, Ribéry, Benzema taking care of your strike force and your speed and all that.
I think with all this, I think the player to watch out for.
I would have popped out Varane for Koscielny.
Yeah.
Not just because I'm an Arsenal player, just because he's like I call him a shark. He looks like it as well.
But I think Varane's
taller for this team as well.
Taller, and he's had a better season for Real, so I think he might.
I disagree with that completely. Koscielny and Mertesacker had pretty much the best defensive partnership in the Premier League.
True, but then they did go on to the Champions League final, didn't they?
This is what happens when I let you do the team behind my back.
But then I think the player to watch out in this team for me is still Paul Pogba. He has been hot.
He is crazy. Juve must be thrilled that they managed to clinch him.
And then let him go. So
yeah, on the forwards as well, Giroud and Remy, they're about the same. They'll come on subbed, and whoever's in better form, I presume, will be used more.
They have very good cover in defense also with Sakho, who's had a very indifferent season for Liverpool, but I think can nick it in the international situation when it's required.
Debuchy, no lack of experience there as well.
There at all.
Solid.
Blaise Matuidi, again, powerhouse for PSG, all last season. Steadied the ship for them. Very, very good player. Can actually slot in straight for Kabay as they did in PSG.
Aye.
What with Kabay and Matuidi?
You wouldn't. I mean, this is our speculated. We pulled this off the FIFA thing. This formation.
From
right?
the FIFA TV profiles.
Would you perhaps play a 4-4-2 there?
You could actually do that.
Because Ribéry is not like the man can run.
I think surprisingly Giroud and Benzema would make a very good combo with Giroud being potent on the head.
He can hold the ball up, allow Valbuena and Ribéry to run past him. Benzema will provide support. Can also be done. Deschamps, if you're listening, we know what to do. We've got some ideas. Give us a ring. Come on the show, maybe.
Deschamps, if you're listening, keep them in absolutely separate rooms. Do not let them share rooms. The last time that happened, it did
also
not
don't let Giroud get injured. We have one striker at Arsenal right now. We don't know if we will buy another one. Who knows?
No clubs.
Sorry, I can't help it. We've got the other potential target, Loic Remy, over there. What do you want me to do?
I think he's also had a very good season with Newcastle. Yeah. Surprising to see how they'll be played in terms of their striker rotation. Again, the temperature might get the better of a lot of them.
I mean, they've been down there. They've been training. They'll get in. I think it'll be more the players who, the nations who don't compete in foreign conditions and the smaller, like the Bosnias, for example.
The Bosnias, yes.
Which actually leads us to the Group F. Any final points you want to make on France? Actually,
my pick for the quarterfinals.
Your pick for the quarterfinals.
I think they'll reach the quarters easy. Right.
Well, we'll do a recap of our picks at the end as well. Let's get to Group F then. As we said, Bosnia, we've got Begovic and we've got Dzeko. And Dzeko, who I think is the most underrated, one of the most underrated strikers. He's been at City for the last 3 seasons. This guy has scored consistently almost a goal a game.
You know you're a good player when Jose Mourinho comes up and says you should be the player of the season over Luis Suarez.
Yeah, mind you.
So you know you're good.
He came in, he picked up when Kun was gone, when all these guys were down and out. This guy stepped up to the plate and made a difference. So if he can do this for his home nation, then
nothing like it.
Nothing
And
like
he's
it.
got he's got very potent support with Asmir Begovic, who's a very good goalkeeper. Again, with Stoke defense drilled into him, he'll be a very, very handy pick for in the World Cup.
Any other notables that come to mind from the Bosnian team?
Miralem Pjanic?
Pjanic, that's
Miralem
right.
Pjanic, right?
Roma.
Roma. Again, an absolutely awesome season with Roma. Actually did very well when Kevin Strootman went out, because you needed, again, that creative influx from the middle with De Rossi to push Destro ahead. Very, very good addition. In very good form. Coveted by a lot of clubs. A lot of clubs might be looking at him in the World Cup. And so if he scores a couple of goals and does a couple of good things, you might see him in the Premier League or the La Liga.
Yeah, I mean, this is because the amount of youth that's playing in this World Cup this time, the transfer market is going to
It's going to be buzzing.
It's going to be haywire. I know you guys are with your big bucks. They're going to be excited. We've got 100 million as well. City will pay their penalty and still spend whatever. Anyway, no clubs. Iran it is. Not too familiar with Iran, but I do believe they are using the former assistant coach from United.
Carlos Queiroz,
Yes.
if I'm not wrong. Yes.
Correct.
Again, very good Asian team, not proven in the international scene. So again, a lot of work to be done there. They have a very good manager in Carlos Queiroz. He knows how to blood youngsters, and a lot of Iranian players. There's an Iranian Messi, a 14-year-old Iranian kid.
I saw something
who
about
has
this.
been doing very good things with the ball, and I think players like him who are being blooded and breaded through the academy will do a lot of good things. So expect to see a lot of players to spring a couple of surprises, because you can't see this team lie down. Yes, they'll be the whipping boys of this group, but
Well, I mean, okay, so we've got Nigeria and of course Argentina again now the given from this. So you'd say it's between then Bosnia and Nigeria for the other spot. On to Nigeria, Victor Moses, Shola Amiobi, Odem Wingy,
John Obi
Mikel.
good. Again, consistent, seasoned Premier League campaigners who know where they are when they're together and when they're playing. Then they'll not be overawed by the stage. They'll not be overawed by the demands of qualification. Very well accustomed to the temperature. Nice, solid team.
Another solid, powerful sort of force.
Yeah.
And again, saying Iran are not the most physically present team, and neither are Argentina for that matter. But moving to Argentina, if we can get that up here. Yeah, so this, we have to apologize. We went with a 4-4-2 at the end because the thing is there's just so many options to choose
Again,
from.
we wanted an 8-2-1.
Yeah. What do you, Messi, Aguero, Higuain, Palacio, Di Maria, Lavezzi, who do you pick from? Anyway, this is what we've gone from. Forget it, just the names is all we wanted you to actually see. Mascherano, you think he'll be used in defence, or you think, like we've put him there, or think he'll be slotted in
Again,
midfield?
depends on whether the coach Alejandro Sabella has enough confidence in Di Michelis, because throughout this season we've seen him for City. It's been very on and off. The first half of the season he was dismal for City, but actually pulled up his socks and put in a very good performance in the second half of the season, taking them to the title. Important performances. So it depends on how his. But yeah, Mascherano might take that centre back spot with Garay because of the Barcelona factor.
Who's the backup there? You've got Campagnaro, he's quite old actually now.
Campagnaro, again, Inter Milan did not do very well, so might be below Di Michelis.
Di Michelis is there. Yeah. I mean, they've got coverage. Zabaleta has had a great season, so he's going to be he's an asset as always.
You only need Zabaleta.
You just need this onwards,
exactly.
actually.
You don't really need your back
This is going to be like the old school Brazilian method of we don't care how much you'll score, we'll just score one more.
Yeah.
So that's pretty crazy.
I mean, Messi and
Aguero together, yeah.
And with service like Di Maria and Lavezzi on the side, they don't even need to take the ball. Di Maria might just go all the way and score.
Yeah. Completely.
So they're top heavy. They're absolutely striker heavy.
I mean, it's funny. We've got I don't know if you guys can see in the graphic here. The shirt that's been used is actually it's the reverse. It's all number 10s. It's all Messi over there. It might as well be. It might
Put Gonzalo
as well be.
Higuain in. Put Lucas Biglia in. You start putting number 10s in the team.
There you go.
That's a very scary team. I think.
So they're through. They're going to make it
Semi-finals.
Semi-finals.
I think a lot of.
I also think so. I think if their defense just holds whatever it needs to hold and just does its job, that. But again, playing together is also a different scene as well. But this time, like we've got the City contingent.
Yeah.
You know, so that works.
Also, I think Zabaleta is going to be a very handy weapon for them.
Zaba is handy because you know when he these guys they Messi and Higuain they're positionally they cut in their positioning is great, and this guy gets in round the back. Di Maria he can feed like no one else can. So
because Messi and Aguero can change positions on the top, so you will have a lot of service on the right.
I mean, you could even play this as a 4-3-3.
Yeah, easily.
You could actually play anything beyond.
I think whatever the coach wakes up to, whatever formation he wants, he can actually close his eyes, put dots on the board, and say, "This is how you play."
Alejandro Sabella, does he strike you as an adaptive manager, someone like Mourinho who will play to the team he's playing against, or is he more of a Simeone who will just rock it with the same strategy?
You have so much versatility on your team.
It would be criminal not to, right?
It would be criminal not to experiment, because none of these experiments can go wrong. You can put Lavezzi up top with Messi and Aguero, with Aguero in the middle, Messi. It's the permutations are.
It is the show.
Unlimited.
So before we get confused and with our permutations and combinations and all of that, let's jump on to Group G because I think we're running a little low on time. So, Ghana, USA, Portugal, Germany. Out of those, Portugal and Germany going through, of course.
And Germany.
Ghana, Essien, notable. Oh, he's back. He missed 2010. That's right. Essien missed out. So they'll be good to look out. We've got Asamoah Gyan, who is behind my shoulder.
Will be hounding him.
Solid. Also a solid team. They're great. They're
I think Germany
thing, but Germany is going to get the better of the lot of them. Germany is just great. Have we got the Germany team? Can we have a look at them? Yes, we do.
Again, it's the Argentinian problem.
It's the Argentinian problem, except everywhere. By the way,
too much to do.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
There's not one position there that doesn't.
You could make an 11 with the bench.
Yeah. This was like when Chelsea first had Abramovich and they just had A team, B team, but they were both A. So
again, Schweinsteiger, Rock.
Schürrle up front, really?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I think even Jose Mourinho at Chelsea likes him up front because he again with the embarrassment of riches in the middle, you can put anyone in top, and they have a blessing to have Schürrle, Klose, Müller.
Two Khadiras.
Marco Reus can play up top. Mario Götze can slot in behind Schürrle. Ozil can play behind Schürrle. It's like with Joachim Low, I think they've got a manager who can do wonders with this team.
Tourney favorites, you think?
I think they'll go to the final.
Brazil-Germany final?
Yep. I see it exactly that way. A Brazil-Germany final.
Brazil-Germany final. That is
Look at their bench. Their bench is brilliant. Draxler's had a brilliant season with Schalke, highly coveted. Mario Götze, brilliant season with Mario Götze. Toni Kroos, brilliant season with Bayern. Marco Reus, again, versatile as ever. Miroslav Klose, the German linchpin. Yeah. Thomas Müller, again highly coveted, very, very brilliant player, versatile, can play the Ozil role, can play the Schürrle role.
Talent and a half. Yeah, I mean, there's no name on there that's...
Pace, precision, versatility, team ethic. A lot of big egos here.
And it's not just like a German efficiency. This is actually a team that is super trained, super professional, and they all function as a unit,
Yeah, and they all know each other. They're all very good with each other. So a lot of them have played together. So that helps. Germany to top the group for me.
Germany to top the group easily. Portugal then. To Portugal it is. We have got them as well. Ooh, little Portuguese.
They're good. Could have done it
They're
today.
good and they're quick. Ronaldo obviously being, the point man, and his his like doppelganger, his wannabe rather.
Yeah.
His, oh,
I think the prototype.
what's that? The Superman's that alternate. What's he? The Bizarro. That's what Nani is to Cristiano Ronaldo.
Again, very good team.
But yeah, you can't count him out. When this guy gets going on his best day, if you're slow, you're not going to catch him.
Single-handedly took them to the World Cup, didn't they? Sweden and Portugal, the playoffs. Hit a hat-trick when it needed the most.
Pepe is there. He'll beat you up if you don't do things.
Fabio
So
Coentrao.
that's
A lot of Real Madrid top-class players in
Yep.
this team.
William
João Moutinho from Monaco.
Carvalho
Again,
is highly rated
Brilliant
these
player.
days. John Moutinho is a class act as always. Coentrao, yeah. So I really can't decide. Even Portugal used to be okay. That
They have Helder Postiga as their striker who's been there, done that. So when
Yeah.
you need experience in the 80th minute, bring him on for Varela, push Ronaldo on the wing,
Mirallas
get
is always-
your target man in the middle. Raul Miralles to steady the ship when one of them runs out of steam. Very, very good substitutions for a very, very good team. Beto, the keeper who did wonders in the Europa League final, got Sevilla the title because of his saves. Again,
and
Rui Patricio.
it's balanced. I mean,
Yeah.
this is the right formation. I believe we got this one right actually.
And also very good for Portugal is the manager knows his team very well. Paulo Bento knows his team very well because a lot of managers don't get enough time with the players. But these Portuguese players, along with the manager, share a very good rapport, and you can see it on the training ground also.
Yeah.
They're very well gelled together to do wonders. I think they'll get to the quarters.
You think they'll also get to
Yeah.
the quarters?
Ronaldo might single-handedly drive them.
That's also true. He can't put it
This
beyond.
is
beyond
his
the
World
words.
Cup.
This is his World Cup.
This has to be his World Cup.
And it sucks to be a player like Ronaldo, though, in a team like Portugal or like a Lewandowski or something. And it's a shame for them.
Ronaldo and
It's a
Messi, I
shame
think,
for
are going to
them.
grit it out for this World Cup this year. Yeah.
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 Oh, we're bringing it all in. If
So,
it wasn't enough
Germany
that it's in
and
the
Portugal,
league.
I think.
Germany
would
and
be my
Portugal
picks.
going
Yep.
through for here for sure. We missed out on the United States. No Landon Donovan.
No Landon Donovan, but Clint Dempsey as their captain. Tim Howard in goal. You have Josie Altidore from Sunderland.
That's
Again,
right.
very, very solid powerhouse of a
And
player.
Jurgen Klinsmann, of course, doing his thing.
Jurgen Klinsmann doing his knows USA back and forth, has been in the country long enough to know. And well, I think they missed someone like a Brian McBride up top. But I think they should do well with Clint Dempsey leading the line. And also, well, I don't see them getting past the group.
I don't.
anyhow, so
There's Portugal,
too much
Germany.
Germany
going
and
through.
Portugal have too
Well, I
much in
mean,
between them.
But again, there's also since the last World Cup, football in the United States has also picked up severely.
Yeah.
So there's a lot more focus, and who knows? They might just be preparing like what the Chinese did at the Olympics, just a surprise show of.
Sure.
Who knows?
Sure.
Who knows?
Sure.
Who knows? Finally, to Group H, then the last group, which includes my personal pick for wild card and the team I really hope goes all the way, which is Belgium. It also has Russia and South Korea and Algeria. I think there it's Belgium and South Korea / Russia going through.
Russia. I think Belgium and
over
Russia.
them?
Russia have a lot of steel in them with the Berezutsky brothers in defense, with Alan Zagoev, with Yuri Zhirkov, who again ageless,
Yeah.
bombing on the right
Bombing
back
up.
on the right flank. So,
Except-
but I think Belgium will lead the group and will go.
They are
Run amok.
I almost don't want to talk about any of these other teams because I'm so excited about the Belgium team. But let's just quickly, Russia's Fabio Capello has chosen a pretty damn good squad there. There's no room for Pogrebniak.
Yep, Pogrebniak, Pavel Pogrebniak,
Arshavin
Pavlyuchenko.
Pavlyuchenko is out. And one other name which I've written here, which I can't pronounce, so just, let that go. South Korea, they had a great run when they hosted it back
But
in the
I
day,
think
but
they're
also
past the
just,
heyday.
I think we'll also just move past that. Let's just get to Belgium straight away. Have we got the Belgium team there on the screen?
Yes,
we
we
do
do.
indeed.
Again.
Okay, here we go. There's not too
Run it
much.
down
There's not
for
too
me.
much on the bench, but I'm gonna go through. We've got Courtois in goal, awesome. Backup Mignolet just in case that goes wrong. Vertonghen, Tottenham, Company captain of City. Van Buiten, legend.
Ex-Bayern, solid.
Vermaelen, who's on the bench. I actually selected him, but then we had our thing. captain of us. They've got three captains in the back already. We haven't even moved forward yet. Axel Witsel, beast. Defoe, beast. I don't even need to describe them. That's very much what they are, and they're perfectly tailored. It's like someone handpicked this thing. If they don't go far the World Cup 2018, they will smash it.
Oh yes,
because by that time, Mr. Eden Hazard will be at his peak age, if he's not already at a great level. Lukaku, Benteke, they're sadly missing due to injury.
Could have been a very,
if they played a 4-4-2 with these two monsters up front, can you imagine? Your boy Adnan Januzaj snubbed England, by the way, guys, to come over to Belgium and play for them.
The list of nations was a lot. He snubbed England, he snubbed Algeria, he snubbed Kosovo.
Okay,
he went on a lot, and you will expect wonders from him, because a straight swap for Miralas.
Yes.
And with Hazard and Januzaj, because both of them love to take their man on.
Yeah.
You will see a lot. And in terms of talent, to be honest, this is the best pick. They are, I think, in contention with Germany in terms of talent. They're that good.
Why not? Why not? I mean, they've got fine. Fellaini hasn't had the best season for United, but I mean, as you said, when you put on the national shirt, it's a different scene altogether.
Marwan Fellaini,
great. Nasser Chadli is also. Yeah, they're missing Benteke actually. That's just the last bit.
But I think Lukaku
is done. He's same but different.
He's made the right noises this year with Everton to actually warrant a place at the start. And had Benteke been fit, Mark Wilmore would have had a good headache to have who to play up top.
Absolutely.
A 20-year-old.
I'm going to cut you off. I just looked at my watch. We've been yapping for like 15 minutes, and I'm sure these guys.
I'm just too excited.
I'm not bored. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. But I'm gonna have to call it a close right there, guys. Do write in and let us know what you think, who you think should be selected, who missed out, who's in, who's not. All and any of your thoughts, do tweet into @IndiaPostLive with the hashtag #IndiaPostLive. We will be doing a lot more football in the coming days, including a regular show coming up. Otherwise, until then, thank you so much for joining us. These have been the 23-man squads. They're not confirmed just yet. This is just based on the information available today. We'll know it all in the next 1-2 days, so we'll keep you in the loop about that in the meantime. Otherwise, from me and Chaitanya, it's a very good night, and thank you for watching today.